Dragons, today is Tuesday. It is February the 8th, 2022. It's the 112th day of school. My name is Mr. Butcher. It's my job to keep you guys safe so that you can show us how excellent you can be. Hopefully you've left your average at home or on the bus and you are ready, which means being in the right place at the right time with the right stuff. To have a respectful, which means treating others the way you want to be treated. And responsible, which means doing your job with a smile on your face and giving perfect effort. A ready, respectful, and responsible day. Speaking of responsibilities, our very first responsibility that we have each morning is to be ready to show respect for the rights that we have in this country and at this school. We do this by daily saying the Pledge of Allegiance, our school pledge, as well as doing a moment of silence. When we do this, we want to be respectful. And how do we show respect? We stop what we're doing, we stand up tall, we put our hand over our hearts like this, we say the pledge loudly, clearly, and with pride. If you guys would please stand for the pledge and remain standing for the Kennedy School Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for the Kennedy School Pledge. I pledge myself as a Kennedy Dragon to be ready for the day ahead of me. I'll be respectful of myself, my teachers, and all others I meet throughout the day. I promise to be responsible for myself, my actions, and my learning. I'll work my hardest to be the best dragon I can be. Our second responsibility that we have each day is to try to slow down the spread of germs by frequently washing our hands. When we wash our hands, we want you to use soap and water. If you do not have access to soap and water, alcohol-based hand sanitizer will be sufficient. When you wash your hands, you want to get all parts of your hands, the palms of your hands, the backs of your hands, your fingertips in between your fingers, your wrists, and your thumbs. When you wash your hands, you want to be doing it for at least 20 seconds. Let's model what good hand washing looks like now. You're going to get the palms of your hands, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to get the back of your hand, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get the back of your other hand, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get in between your fingers, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get your fingertips, 2, 4, 5. Get your other set of fingertips, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get your thumb, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get your other thumb, 2, 4, 5. Get your wrist, 2, 3, 4, 5. And get your other wrist, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now your hands should be nice and clean. All right, now that we've washed our hands, we've done our moment of silence, we've done our pledges, it is time to show respect for those that have birthday. One birthday today. Happy birthday to Grayson Garman, who is 5 years old. We'll make sure you get your birthday ribbon. Happy birthday, Grayson. Next responsibility that we have is to make our lunch choice. For lunches today, mini corn dogs, creamy coleslaw, savory baked beans, baked Lays, and orange wedges. If you do not want mini corn dogs, you can always get PB&J or yogurt and muffin. February is Black History Month. Black History Month was created to focus attention on the contributions of African Americans to the United States. It honors all black people from all periods of U.S. history, from the enslaved people first brought over from Africa in the early 17th century to African Americans living in the United States today. Each day during the month of February, we will bring you a different historical figure that had a great impact on our country. The stars were always within reach for Katherine Johnson. Using her mathematical skills, she helped NASA send astronauts to the moon and return them home safely. She also overcame racial and gender hurdles that helped make giant leaps for humankind. Johnson was born in White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia on August 26, 1918. Math came easy to her, but she worked hard to master geometry and algebra. She started high school when she was just 10 years old and college when she was 15. After she graduated with honors at 18, Johnson taught black students math. She later enrolled in graduate school at West Virginia University to study math, but left early to raise a family and return to teaching. In 1952, when she was 34 years old, she learned about jobs for black women with mathematics and computing skills at the Langley Laboratory at the National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics, which later would become NASA. She and other women worked as human computers, figuring out the difficult calculations needed for spaceflight. During her time there, she broke racial barriers, like using the bathroom that was supposed to be for white women only. One of her biggest accomplishments at NASA was helping calculate the trajectory or path of the country's first human spaceflight in 1961, making sure astronaut Alan B. Shepard Jr. had a safe trip. A year later, she helped figure out John Glenn's orbit of the planet, another American first. In 1969, she calculated the trajectories of Neil Armstrong's historic mission to the moon on Apollo 11. Yet, unlike the white male astronauts she helped launch into space, no one knew of the groundbreaking work Johnson and dozens of other black women did for NASA and space exploration. It wasn't until 2016 release of the movie Hidden Figures that these women received widespread recognition. Johnson died on February 24, 2020 at the age of 101. In her honor, NASA has dedicated the Katherine G Johnson Computational Research Facility at the Langley Research Center to commemorate the hard work she did to help them take them to the stars. It's time for our writing and vocabulary activity for the week. Here's our picture. Short week, so we're going to be doing nouns and verbs today. So nouns are persons, places, and things that you can touch, feel, see, hear. And verbs are action words that show action, things that are doing. So as you look at this picture today, think of the nouns, the persons, places, or things, and the actions of what they're on, and put those in good sentences or even paragraphs if you want to. Get creative and give us some good details of nouns and actions, things that are going on in this story, and give us as good creative. Time for our math problems of the week. Remember, we're on a short week, so you don't have much time to do this. There's a K1, a 2-3, and a 4-5. So you can do one, you can do two, you can do all three, but go ahead and try these out. Make sure you put them on the whiteboard with your name. Show us your work or explain your work as you go. Here's the kindergarten and first grade math problem. Using the digits 1 through 9, at most one time each, place a digit in each box to create a true statement. You can use manipulative to help you, you can use your number line to help you, use whatever you want, but you can only use the number once in each of the boxes. Here's the second and third grade. Using the digits 1 to 9, exactly one time each, place a digit in the box to make the sum as close to 1,000 as possible. You can only use each digit once, 1 through 9, no zeros. Here's the fourth and fifth grade question. Miss Ham's students are working on generating patterns following a rule. One student uses tiles and makes the first 3 patterns. Determine the rule the student is using to create the patterns and tell how many tiles will be used to make stages 7 and 23. Time for the message of the day. Today's message is on dreams and vision. Listen up. I have a question for you today. What dreams are you dreaming for tomorrow? How do you see yourself in the future? Will you be a winner, a real champion? First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt once said that the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. If you want to be a real winner tomorrow, and maybe that simply means earning a good grade on a test or on an assignment, start dreaming the dream today. Set a goal for success, then take positive steps in that direction. If something to think about, I'm Mr. Butcher. Make today your masterpiece or not, remember, choice yours. So true. If you want to accomplish something, set that goal, but then think, what do I need to do today and tomorrow and the next day to make that goal happen? And then do that. That's how you accomplish stuff. Great day. That is all we have for announcements, so please help me.
Me and your teachers keep you safe. That is our job.
And your job is to help us keep you safe.
And you can help us by being a ready, respectful, and responsible student who is focused on graduating in the year.
Because when you are a ready, respectful, and responsible student focused on graduation, you are boldly committed to student success. I love you very much. Have a great day. for today. What is given from the heart? Author is Patricia C. McKissick, and illustrator is April Harrison. Author is the person that wrote the words. The illustrator is the person who drew the pictures. It's February, so every one of our books is written by an African American, or it is the main character are African Americans, and a lot of these are Coretta Scott King award-winning books because February is Black History Month. As I read, I'm going to try to model what good readers do. Read fluently, read the words correctly at a good pace, not too fast, not too slow, and with expression. As I read, this is a great opportunity for you to practice what good readers do as they read or as they listen to someone reading to them. Think about the character, who or what the story is about. Think about the setting, where and when the story is taking place. Look for the sequence of events, what happens first, next, and last. And also ask yourself questions as you're going on. What happened? Why did it happen? Who did it happen to? What do I think is going to happen next? So here we go. What is given from the heart? By Patricia McKissick, illustrated by April Johnson. It was a rough few months for Mama and me. We were already poor, but we got poorer last April when Daddy went to sleep on the front porch and never woke up. Mama cried and cried because Daddy didn't have a suit to be buried in. So we know Dad died and they were poor. Come June, we lost the farm and moved to a rundown shotgun house in the Bottoms. On Friday the 13th, it rained frogs. Everything flooded, and Smitty, my dog, disappeared. Misery loves company, Mama said, shaking her head as she swept water out of the back door. I hugged her up close, the way I always did when she was sad or I was scared. Long as we have our health and our strength, we are blessed, James Otis, Mama said, trying not to sound brave, but things didn't get any better. We got an early snowfall in November, and Christmas was skimpy, but we made it through to a new year. For I realized February was upon us, with Valentine's Day just 2 weeks away. One Sunday, Reverend Dennis made an announcement during services. Just as we always do, we'll be delivering love boxes to needy folk in our community, he said. Irene Temple and her little girl have lost everything in a fire. We must add them to our list. Next week, bring whatever you think might be useful to them. Remember, what is given from the heart reaches the heart. So our church, they decide they're going to provide for families that don't have. James Otis, we need to help out, Mama said on the cold walk home. I came back with, how we going to do that, Mama? We ain't got nothing ourselves. Mama kept right on talking. Sister Bunch told me the daughter's name is Sarah. She's 7, 2 years younger than you. You can find a little bit of something for her, don't you think? I wasn't convinced. What do I have that a little girl would want? Now, said Mama. Remember what Reverend Dennis said. What's given from the heart reaches the heart. That night I lay warm and toasty under one of Mama's quilts. Still, it made me tremble to think about fire taking away what little we did have. What can I give Sarah to make up for all that she's lost, I wondered. I considered the blue ribbon I'd won in school spelling bee. Nah. The award was important to me, but it would mean nothing to her. I looked around my beautiful sparkling rock, the one I'd found down by the creek. But how would that help Sarah? You can't eat a rock. Unable to come up with anything good, I pulled the covers over my head and drifted off to sleep. Sorry. Come morning, I found Mama in the kitchen busy sewing. I knew if we had a fire, I would miss my apron, Mama explained, so I decided to make Miss Temple one. But Mama, you're using your white tablecloth, the only nice thing you have. James Otis, I'm stitching with loving heart. My hope is that the apron will give as much joy to Miss Temple as the tablecloth has given to me. Mama's smile was a welcome sight. That made me study harder on what I could contribute. maybe Sarah would like something to play with, like my whistle from Dexter Benson's birthday party. But my spit was all over it. What about my crayons? I drew so many pictures with them, even though the black, pink, and dark blue were missing. No way I couldn't give her used crayons. And I couldn't give her my pencil that was just a nub and not much eraser left either. As time flew forward toward Valentine's Day, I fretted more and more. I considered giving Sarah a puzzle. It didn't bother me that 2 pieces were missing, but it might bother her. That wouldn't do. Not even with a bow on it. And neither would my capeless Superman Halloween costume. So he's thinking of all the things he can give her. Then I remember my book, Things That Roll. Mama paid 10 cents for it at the resale shop. I read it every night until I memorized each word. And then I drew pictures of all the stuff that rolled. Sarah might enjoy my book, I thought. But maybe she didn't like trucks and marbles and such. Still, it got me thinking. I gathered my crayons, my pencil, some paper, and got busy. What do you think he's going to do? What do you think? On the Sunday before Valentine's Day, we were off to church. Along the way, Mama told me, as usual, the trustees will deliver the love boxes to the homes of the needy. But Reverend Dennis has invited the Temples to receive theirs at Olive Chapel so they can meet the congregation. The church was full. Mama beamed as she carefully placed the apron in the box. When we presented the Temples with their love box filled with all kinds of clothing, food, tools, and toys, Miss Temple was overcome with emotion. The congregation shouted, "Amen." Even so, Sarah seemed sad and afraid. She clung to Mama's arm and hid her face. I walked over to where she was standing. "Hi, Sarah," I said, sounding cheery-like. "My name is James Otis, and I am pleased to meet you." "Same to you," she answered, looking at her feet. "Here," I said, handing her my gift. "I wrote it, drew the pictures, and put it together myself, just for you." Sarah managed a smile as she stared at the book I made. Then, real slow-like, she read the cover. From My Heart to Your Heart by James Otis Petway. It's about a little girl named Sarah and... "Don't tell me," she said. "I want to read it all by myself. I can't believe it," she squealed. "A book about me." Then she covered her mouth to catch a giggle. Seeing little Sarah happy made me happy too. I laughed out loud. "I put some words in so you can look them up." "You sound like my teacher." Sarah pressed the book to her heart, closed her eyes, and whispered, "Thank you, James Otis. I'll keep this book forever and ever." Walking home, Mama held my hand. "The Temples looked very grateful," she said. "I think we reached their hearts," I said. Mama nodded. "I'm proud of you, James Otis." "How come?" I asked. "'Cause you're you." In winter, night comes early. The sky was darkening and it had started to snow. I stuck my tongue out to catch a snowflake as Mama spun me joyfully round and round. Suddenly, Mama stopped. "Look, there's something on our porch," she said. I rushed ahead, and there it was. A love box had been delivered to us. And our hearts rejoiced. Our hearts rejoiced. What's given from the heart.